My son said something about my wife that I can't shake off. My 9-year-old said one sentence, and now I don't know what to believe. I'm 43. I've been married to my wife for 12 years. We have one son who's 9. Life isn't exciting, but it's stable. I work maintenance for a housing association. My wife works 3 days a week at a pharmacy. Most evenings are exactly the same. I collect our son from football on Tuesdays. She cooks, I wash up, we argue about silly things like whose turn it is to buy washing powder. Nothing dramatic. A few weeks ago, I picked my son up after football training. He climbed into the car and said, "Dad, Mum smiles differently when you're at work." I laughed. Kids say strange things. I asked what he meant. He shrugged. I don't know. That was it. I forgot about it. Well, I thought I had. A few days later, my wife was getting ready for church committee planning. She hardly wears makeup these days. That evening, she spent nearly half an hour in front of the mirror. I even joked, "Who are you trying to impress?" She rolled her eyes. "The women notice everything." Fair enough. Maybe they do. Maybe I was being childish. Then my son asked if Mum's church friend David was coming. She answered yes. Again, nothing unusual. Church people work together all the time. Still, I remembered what he had said in the car. The next weekend, we had my parents over. My mum mentioned my wife seemed happier recently. My wife laughed. "I've stopped worrying about everything." Everyone smiled. I smiled too. But I remember wondering why I hadn't noticed. The following Thursday, I finished work early because one of the jobs was cancelled. I didn't tell anyone. I thought I'd surprise them. When I got home, my wife wasn't there. My son was still at school. Her car was gone. No problem. She works. Except it wasn't one of her work days. I called. She answered immediately. She said she'd gone shopping. I believed her, mostly. When she got home, there were only 2 small shopping bags. I actually remember thinking they looked light. Who notices shopping bag weight? Apparently, I do now. This is where I know people will probably judge me. I checked the bank account. Nothing unusual. Then I felt guilty. Really guilty. She hadn't actually done anything wrong. Over the next week, I started noticing things I'd probably ignored for years. She laughed more while texting. She locked her phone without thinking. She started taking evening walks. Maybe she'd always done that. Honestly, I can't even remember anymore. One Saturday, my son asked if David was coming for coffee after church. My wife answered, "No, not today." Not today. Those 2 words stayed in my head far longer than they should have. Later, I asked her if David visited often. She looked confused. Sometimes, after meetings, I nodded. That should have been enough. Instead, I started wondering why I even asked. Then wondering why she looked confused. My brother says I'm imagining problems because Dad left Mum when I was young. He says I always expect people to leave first. Maybe he's right. My wife says I've been distant lately. She's noticed. Of course she has. The worst part is, she doesn't even seem angry, just disappointed. Last Sunday, my son said, "Mum doesn't smile differently anymore." I asked what he meant. He shrugged again. "I don't know." That was the entire conversation. Now I'm left wondering whether there was ever anything to notice. Maybe my son simply meant she smiled more after starting her part-time job. Maybe church gave her more friends. Maybe she's happier because life has settled down. Or maybe I've slowly built a story inside my own head. The only thing I know for certain is that our house feels different now. Not because of anything she's done, but because I don't trust my own thoughts anymore. Men of Men Corner. What would you advise? Has a child ever said something that completely changed how you saw a situation?